Protest. Riot. Vandalism. Structures coming down. Monuments and statues being debated over and torn down, or not torn down, or defaced. This is all going on across America as we speak. And while we're debating over statues and monuments, and which ones to keep up and which ones to tear down, and what's okay and what's not okay, and should we celebrate war, which side was right, which side was wrong, does it change over time? Do we need new role models? Yeah, we could talk about all of that, and many people have all throughout the internet. But there's one broad thing that I don't think people are really paying attention to, and this is it. When you're seeing the statues and monuments debate, protests, tearing down, and whatnot, this came after the initial protests in the streets. We migrated over to the statues, and what I think is going on is something called iconoclasm. And no, iconoclasm and heresy is not just a disaster card traded to you by that idiot friend of yours who promised you ivory for the bronze that you were going to hand him in the game Advanced Civilization from the mid-'80s. Iconoclasm and heresy is a real thing. Many times the words iconoclasm are referenced in a religious sense. When one civilization takes over another and they're of a different religion or even a different sect within the same religion, and they don't appreciate the statues, the icons that were created by the other religion or the other sect, and they start tearing them down. But iconoclasm also comes in a political sense. In that political sense is where we are here. It's not really a religious thing. We're talking about the icons to our secular government of the United States of America and what it stands for, and are we good with that or not? What I think that a lot of people miss, because when we say, oh, let's tear down the statues of Stonewall Jackson, Jefferson Davis, George Washington, Don Juan de Oñate, Christopher Columbus, many times we get bogged down in debating the history over those specific people. And while there are many protesters and people in our society that have a problem with the specific people, what I think that's being missed is that many times there's people along for the ride. Why? They have a general sense of unhappiness with our government and the system and the culture and the environment in which we've grown up in. And so this is where iconoclasm is a much broader thing than just about specific individuals. The people at large are trying to send a message to our lawmakers and our leaders that they are sincerely unhappy with the way things are going right now. And a lot of people are aghast, and a lot of people are upset, and a lot of people feel personally hurt when statues that they particularly attach themselves to happen to be the target.
I'm really offended to the point where I had to go to the mountains for a day just to get my spirit back, because I felt like somebody had kicked me in the stomach.
But what they're not getting is this, and I'm going to say it as plainly as I can. Lawmakers should be almost thrilled that right now that the target is statues and monuments. Once again, it's the people trying another method to get across to lawmakers how much they want change without personally threatening a sitting lawmaker. They're going after our symbols of the past. Be grateful that they're not going after you. But I can tell you that if time keeps passing, laws don't change, policy doesn't change, and in a big way, that could be something for the future. Look, it's not unheard of. It's happened in human history over and over again. I hope we don't have to repeat it. But guess what? The symbol of that is already appearing. The guillotine has appeared already in protests. Early on in protests, a guillotine showed up in Ferguson, Missouri, a place that had already gone through it a number of years ago. So now when they're back again, they're there's a symbol of saying we're close to not taking it anymore. And just recently, a guillotine appeared in front of the house of Jeff Bezos. Again, no action was taken, the guillotine was not used, and I don't think that any protester in either of those instances were actually thinking of actually using the guillotine for its purpose. But what they were doing is putting out a rattlesnake rattle, and they were shaking it as a warning, saying, please, do the right thing. We don't want to have to go here. I don't want to see our nation go there. But it's very clear that that is what's on the minds of some people. I can tell you from personal experience, in the last 2 years, the word revolution has come out of a lot of people's mouths, and not just from one particular part of society. It's not just a right-wing thing or a left-wing thing or a black thing. It's coming from a wide variety of sources. Lawmakers really need to understand how serious this is. You've tried for 20 years to crack heads and put people in jail as a solution to these problems that you don't want to deal with. Now we're here 20, 30 years later, and the problems still exist, if not worse. Please don't keep going down the path that will make other people want to escalate their expression of dissent towards what's happening. This is Steve with the Duopoly Report. Leave a comment. Do you agree with what I said or not? And let me know how you're feeling. Make sure to like, subscribe, click that bell so you get notified when I'm on. Please share this video with everyone. It is really important that I get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can deliver even more for you and have more options available to get you the news and information you need. Thanks.